Hey friends, we're mixing it up and turning this big boy into Thai-inspired pumpkin seeds. My kids and I make jack-o'-lanterns every year. We always hold back the seeds and try different flavors. And this year we wanted to do an Asian-inspired flavor using Kaffir lime leaves, fresh Thai pepper, lemongrass, butter, dry pepper flakes, garlic powder, and of course salt. I like to choose a large pumpkin that has some weight to it. I also make sure that the stem is very sturdy. Stems that break off easily, you might be at risk for having bought a rotten pumpkin, and you don't want that. Now, regardless of whether you're eating the pumpkin or making a jack-o'-lantern, wash and dry the pumpkin. A clean kitchen is important. And I use just this $1 Dollar Tree scooper and knife to get me going. So I stab right into the flesh of the pumpkin, and even though these tools are only $1, trust me, they are awesome. I actually prefer to use these over my big kitchen knives because they just saw perfectly. And then once we get the cap pushed off of the pumpkin, we can take our scooper or maybe a gloved hand, and you can remove all of the innards from the pumpkin. So I'll remove all of the seeds, all of the guts, the strings, the pulp. We want to get all of that removed out of our pumpkin. And again, that's whether you're going to be roasting your pumpkin to eat or if you're going to be making a jack-o'-lantern. It's nice to have a good, clean pumpkin. After you've finished with your pumpkin, go ahead and submerge that bowl of seeds with water and begin removing the pulp and the strings from those seeds. Once the larger pieces are removed, I'll add my seeds to a strainer, give it a shake under some water so that I can really identify and pull out any smaller pieces of pulp. Then handfuls at a time, I'll rinse my seeds and add those to a clean bowl. Here you see the seeds from one pumpkin, but I got a big family. I actually cut open 6 pumpkins. That's a lot of seeds. Next up, we're going to be throwing our seeds into a pot, submerging them with water, and adding some salt. We're going to do this because we want a flavor of the salt soaked all the way through the seed, not just on the outside. Add that pot to high heat and bring to a rolling boil. Once at a boil, reduce to simmer and allow those things to just float around and soak up the salt for about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't skip this step. You will really appreciate how much flavor the seeds can get really packed into them when you do the boiling method. Then strain your seeds into a strainer, removing all of that salt water. I love how these just lay perfectly. It's almost like an artistic pattern. Then onto some paper towels, toss out your seeds so that they can dry. Ideally, dry them overnight, but I don't have the patience for that. So what I do is just take another paper towel and I just pat these as dry as possible because I want to eat my seeds right now. Preheat your oven to 350 and let's prep the seasoning. So cut off the stemmy parts of the lemongrass, chop it in some pieces, and then throw that in our Ninja blender, along with the Thai pepper that we're chopping and our Kaffir lime leaves that we'll stack, roll, and slice. You don't have to pre-chop these aromatics, but I just think that the Ninja blender just gets them more fine when I pre-chop them. And we want them to be about like that, very minced. I melt my butter in the microwave, add it to my seeds, and give it a swirl until they are all very well coated. And then just throw those delicious aromatics right on top with another stir. Add as much pepper as you want, depending on how much spice you like. Don't be shy with the garlic. Don't be shy with the salt. This is a snack. It's supposed to be salty. Add your seasoned seeds to a foiled baking sheet. Give it a good shake so that the seeds are well dispersed and they have enough room to get crispy and crunchy while baking in the oven. Put the sheet in the preheated oven, check on it in 15-minute intervals. Stir in between, and whenever it's crispy, crunchy, golden, and to your preference, that's when it's done. Store in an airtight container away from moisture. Thank you so much for watching. Have a happy Halloween. Cup Chai.